Hi, everybody. I am coming on live in my group, Intuitive Angel Messages, through Facebook, where I love to connect with each of you about once a week. And I'm going to be sharing a little story about what happened to me when I went under to have my teeth removed in November. So I wanted to dive in a little bit there. And I also wanted to channel Archangel Michael. He wants to talk about how to make your life easier here on earth. And I think we all could use a little bit of that. Am I right? So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. And I remember 17 years ago, I started to communicate with the angels and Archangel Michael. And I remember I was the only one who's the Debbie Downer with my thoughts and my frequency, the complainer, the Debbie Downer. So I remember saying to my guardian angel, like, how do I get myself up and out of this? Because it's kind of sucking. And I remember her saying, this is the homework I'm going to give you. Okay. So you hand off each of your low vibrational thoughts. There's two folds here. One, you become really aware and you become the conscious observer of what you're thinking. And two, you hand off those low vibrational thoughts to get transmuted into the light. And then they just can't come back like they once did. You can't give your energy out, and you can't have it dominate your mind like it once did, which is a godsend, really. So you really do free yourself. You free your mind, you free yourself. Now, is it always going to be perfect? And that's it, it's a quick fix, rip the Band-Aid off. No, it's not. But it's surely a lot better than continuing to have the same mindset that hasn't been working for you for years. So let's try something a little different, right? That was my motto. So the other thing I want to talk about is something that happened to me when I was put under. And it's really interesting because I've had many surgeries over my lifetime. I'm sitting at around 9 or 10. But this is the only time where I remembered where I was. And it was right near the end when they were starting to bring me up and out of being put under. So with anesthesia. And I remember, if we want to call my experience similar to other people's experiences, where I was standing in a place where it was all white, like bright white light. And I basically was standing there with several other individuals. And I was standing there, and everybody was wearing what looked like a long robe, I guess, down to the floor, if you will, if that's how my brain is interpreting it. So there was probably about 5 or 6. I felt like one of them was Jesus, and we were just having like like a group powwow at the workplace. I don't know how else to say it. We were all standing there, facing each other, having a conversation. And then all of a sudden, they all looked at me, and I went, oh. And all of a sudden, my energy just got pulled away from them. And I remember them all looking at me like, and the feeling was from them telepathically was, oh, she's got to go now. So I basically just got pulled away, and I remember coming right back into my body, and I remember them pulling the tube up out of my throat, and then it was a whole world of pain. I was like, well, this is kind of sucking. Usually they would give you something for pain relief, but whatever they were giving me wasn't working. So the only word out of my mouth was pain. Pain. And then they ultimately had to go in with some needles to numb my jaws. That's how they had to fix me. And I'd never had that experience before. It was like pure, uh, complete pure bliss, and then pulled into, oh God, I'm in my body on earth and I've had all my teeth taken out and I'm in a lot of pain. So it went from one to the other, and that's probably why it stood out even more. Because I was like, oh my God, this is seriously what is happening. So that was something else for me. It was really something else, guys. I'd never had that experience before when I'd been, you know, gone under, if you want to call it. And for me, when things are that real, it is real. And I don't question it. And I've only had maybe, oh, I don't know, 3 or 4 experiences like that in my life. So I did not expect that to happen. The other time that this has happened to me, which was after having my large intestine removed through surgery, and it wasn't that I remembered anything on the other side or when I was put under. But I was recovering for several days. I was coming home. I was in bed. I was having a nap. And my aunt and my mom went out for lunch and left me there by myself because I couldn't eat any food anyways. So I was kind of like a baby bird at that time, eating soft foods and liquids. And I had about 45 staples down the front of me, down my abdomen. And I remember laying in bed, and that's when I was in that in-between state. So I was having a really intense dream, and I could feel someone very large kneeling over me. So one knee and then another knee moved over, and it sounded like, because I could hear everything too. I felt everything. I could hear everything. It felt like this person had a long robe on, and it was moving its knee to the other side. And if I were to gauge, I would say this person was probably 7 to 10 feet tall, like taller than the average person. And I was having this intense dream, and then all of a sudden this energy just started going into my chest. It was like, and then another wave would come in another few seconds. And by the third one, I said, what's going on? What is happening to my chest? And I remember saying that in my mind. And then my guardian angel picked that up immediately and said to me that she was trying to help me with my dream. She was helping me with my heart chakra. And I was having a dream about an ex-boyfriend, which is weird. So no wonder she's going in the heart chakra. So I said, well, could you please stop doing that? Because it's really not comfortable. I'm feeling everything here. I am awake enough to know what's going on here. You can't fool me. So she stopped, and I could hear her then moving, because she was getting right above me to get my heart chakra. And then she moved her knee off of me and then off the bed. And I remember thinking, this is just unbelievable. I asked her a few more questions. She answered them. And I was like, this is as real as it gets. It was just crazy, incredible. There are many layers, and depending on where we're at or where our frequency is, you can tap into these energies that are around us all the time. And it's just wild to me how prevalent my own guardian angel, Agnes, has been over the years. I mean, opening up in front of me, passing through my body, helping me with my heart chakra, kneeling over me on the bed. It's just unbelievable. And So yeah, when I had this powwow on the other side, because I was nowhere near my body. So I would say the other side when I was put under. It was a gathering, Kristin, between yourself and several others. And what I'm getting with this gathering is it's other souls that have incarnated, that are on the other side, that were there to greet me when I left my body in the interim or when I had a break from my body. Because, of course, you guys know I was getting put under to get my teeth removed. So, okay, why were we getting together? To converse with me, to cheer me up, to celebrate my time here on earth and all that I'm doing, and to let me know that everything's going to be all right and that there is yet more to come. And it was also a transference of information about what is to come. So instead of a download of information while I'm in my vessel, they're relaying this download of information, if you want to call it, to me directly on the other side while I had a break from my body. Okay, I'm getting 3 thumbs up. That's pretty cool. So that's cool. So who all was there with me? My spirit guide Adrian, Jesus, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene. I'm trying to figure out who this other one is. This soul has also been Saint Germain and is conversing with me, relaying that. Cool. So that's pretty awesome. I did need some cheering up. I mean, when you're about to go in and get all your teeth removed, you need all the cheering you can get. And it was a rough go of it for 7 days afterwards. I would say even up to 10. Other people are like, oh, I didn't, everybody was like, I didn't feel anything. I didn't need any pain meds. I'm like, why is it always me? You know, not me. It was completely different for me. So for me, it was a rough go of it. Wow, your last surgery was under twilight sedation. You know, that was a possibility for me if I had gone to another surgeon. And I said to myself, nope, I want to be when I get all this taken out. I was like, no way, not, you know, and you got to think this is your mouth. Like, whoops, we lost a tooth or a tool. And, you know, I don't want to be partially awake while all that's going on in my mouth. Oh, no, definitely not. So for me, I was like, no, I'm good. And wow. So at one point, you were walking up a golden staircase. Wow. But you woke up before you reached the end. Wow. Isn't that just incredible? Yeah, I was totally out during this go around. Another time I had Jesus take me out of my body when I was sleeping. And he took me to a place that was heavy or low vibrational. Because if you're going to put your energy forth and have low vibrational thoughts, you are the creator of your reality. So if some people believe there's nothing when you cross over, there's nothing. My uncle's one of them. Because, oh, that's it. It's nothing. He's going to have a big surprise when my grandpa shows up and collects them. My grandpa comes around all the time. And my Nana, well, she's just a force to be reckoned with. His parents are a humdinger, let me tell you. He's going to have a rude awakening. And I'm proud to call them my grandparents. Some people believe that, you know, you go to hell or to heaven, depending on how good you were on earth. And some people believe that there is only heaven. So I was taken to a place for people that believe in these low vibrational places. And I didn't like it. I didn't like it one bit. Jesus just wanted to show me the importance of, what work we're all doing here on earth for ourselves, and the importance of relaying messages from them for each of you, to show me the importance of where we want to steer people away from. But if something's indoctrinated and taught to you, and that is just how it's always been for you, and your family believes that, and you believe that, then that is a possibility, I suppose. But as you guys recall, I had an elderly woman who wouldn't leave a house since the 1800s, and I was cleaning the house, and I knew she was in the closet, and she wouldn't cross over because she was so terrified of going to hell. And I would go to this house 3 different times, and she was in the closet. I really didn't want to vacuum the closet. So that's when Jesus stepped in and said, we really need to help her cross over. I'm like, yeah, because it's been, what, 200 years of her being she's so terrified of this that she's trapped herself in her house. Now, I don't think they feel time the same way we do. I think we believe in that. We live it, right? We've got calendars and clocks and watches, but they don't see it or feel it or experience it in the same way. But she was there. Who wants to be hiding in a closet in your afterlife? Not me. So anyways, Jesus took her over 2 seconds into the light. Took literally less than 2 seconds. And she couldn't see. That's the other thing. I think she was so indoctrinated in believing this heaven or hell that she couldn't, from what Jesus told me, she couldn't see any of her team. And I'm sure the team that she could see was like, come on, it's time to go. And she's like, no, huddled in fear. And I think it's really just about freeing ourselves from fear. Freeing ourselves, freeing our minds of anything heavy or low vibrational. Because we're the only ones truly that can get ourselves unstuck. Jesus can help, everybody can have a little powwow and help you. But if you want to stay there and you want to stay stuck, they'll try their best. I'm sure they probably have their ways of getting you up and out of it, but you have to be willing and want to go. So he asked me to relay the words to her, and she went with him, and that was it. Obviously, 200 years was long enough for her. Yeah, I've been hanging out in this closet here in this house. And it was a closet off the main bedroom of this couple that lived in the house, and they had a couple kids down the hall. And it was really interesting to see where a soul can hang out for that long because of fear. Yeah. So for me, it's really important to just relay the messages and help people get unstuck and help just shift out of being so entrenched in fear. Okay, so let's see from Archangel Michael. Okay. This soul of Saint Germain would like to have a word first. Okay, he's saying, each of you who wish to focus on the light, you are the wise ones, for you are the creators of your realities. Those of you that choose to focus on the heaviness and the fear-based locations, thoughts, behaviors, people, he's just going on and on, events, so on and so forth. He says this is a warning for you to please shift and move your attention in a new direction. Thank you, dear ones. Okay. Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but if I hyperfixate on something, I'll create an experience where I have more friends like that. I'll create experience where I feel a desire to go and hang out with those friends, listen to those friends, hang out in those places, do those things, maybe do those drugs. If and we're not all going to be puppies and rainbows and unicorns, okay? It's just not going to happen that way. But being aware is the key. Just being consciously aware, okay? And then if you don't like something, replace it with something that you do want it to be. Where do you want it to be? And if you can't even do that, just ask for help and let your team come in and help you. Sometimes that's just really all we need. Sometimes we just need to ask for help. Believing is secondary, asking is primary, because we're in a free will zone here on earth. It's really important to ask for help.